I was like, are you kidding me? He has no business having a part this iconic. Like, where is this coming from?
Howdy, Meowers. My name is Loremire.
Howdy, Loremire.
Thanks.
I am here also.
And you are?
Devin.
Hi, Devin.
I'm sorry my name isn't more interesting. Hi.
Your name's
Loremire.
interesting. But, well, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the mid-year review. So
our favorite K-pop songs releases this year so far.
Yes. We're taken from January to now. Half the year has passed. We're going to be talking about any songs that were of note for us, like songs, music videos, that sort of thing that we want to, like, you know, bring back. Like, oh yeah, that one, and ooh, that one too. The songs that were just really, like I said, notable, memorable, anything like that for us throughout this first half of the year.
Yes, and I would like to make a note that this was kind of based off of our like mood, feeling, information, you know, like the content up until the area around June 25th to like 27th-ish. Okay, so anything after that we haven't been able to account for, even though that's technically the first half of the year, I suppose. And anything that we included is based off of what we were feeling around that time. You know, maybe we're really forgetting how into something we were at the beginning of the year. But, oh, that's how I feel anyway. Like, but, you know, just saying.
Yeah, and also, maybe we also, like, didn't really care for a song or like it that much the last time that we talked about it, like when we first saw it, and we do like it now. So, like, you know, these are not our initial opinions necessarily of these things. They're, well, some of these things have a lot of time has passed and other things not a lot of time has passed. But basically, yeah, so current time opinions. And also, like, we say this a lot as a disclaimer, these are just our opinions on these songs and stuff, as, like, not a critical assessment of the things. We're not ranking them as, like, how good we think the song is, you know, lyrically or note-wise. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like, we're not rating it in a technical scale. It's our feelings.
Yeah, it's just like our favorite songs. Like, it's casual, okay?
Yeah, it just has to do with our likes.
And we're gonna be going in a format of, like, different categories, and we'll be saying the songs or, like, albums or whatever in the category, but we're not saying it in a ranking order even. Like, we're just casually listing our favorite releases.
It's very casual, very, like, loose, open-ended, like, not really anything set in hard stone. We just wanted to sort of be able to categorize and format everything in a way that made sense so that we could talk about these things, but it's not like, oh, well, they said that this was their absolute, you know, best whatever that they talked about, and it's not that serious.
Yeah, and, like, mid-year review, but we're not reviewing as in, oh, rating. Like, we're reviewing as in looking back.
Yes.
Okay, so also, just another comment. If you notice any background noise in this episode or possible episodes moving forward, please forgive us. If you understand the circumstances of the BlushCat HQ, I'm sure you would rather have there be a little bit of background noise if you can hear anything. Thank you. It's very hot in the BlushCat HQ, and we're just trying to stay a comfortable temperature.
Yeah, so okay, let's get started. Now, do we want to start with our top songs, or do we want to have that last?
We want to save that for last.
Okay. Now, some of these songs might come up more than once because we kind of put them in more than one category.
Yeah.
But once again, the categories don't really even matter.
Yeah.
It's just a way to make it make sense when we're talking about it. Okay, then let's start with our favorite music videos.
Okay.
So did you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. My favorite music videos. I had quite a few that I thought were really good. And again, no order here. No order. T Sugar Rush Ride was a good one. I thought that was a really good video. It was like a storytelling type of video. Actually, all of my favorite music videos ended up having more elements than just, you mentioned in an episode before, like the dancing, fun kind of different scenes. And these are more cinematic or storytelling. So T Sugar Rush Ride, The Boys Roar, I really liked that video. Really high caliber. Kong Daniel SOS, a recent one, but I think it's really cool. The cinematography is really neat. Looks like a video game. Like it's just really cool and different. And probably my favorite, even though I said not ranking, but out of the music videos, CIX Save Me Kill Me. Very good music video. K-drama, storyline, plot, everything. It's really good.
That one did definitely look like a K-drama or like a movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I, too, really liked Kong Daniel SOS. I thought, there was a lot of killing in it, but it was a bit disturbing, but like it's supposed to be disturbing. And I just thought it looked very cinematic. Like it didn't look like music video quality, it looked like movie quality.
I agree.
And I feel like there's actually no choreography in that at all. It's just like scenes of other stuff. There's no dancing scenes. So I really like that. And then on like a sort of rare note, maybe because I don't even know how much you would call it a music video, but I also liked Kong Daniel Wasteland, both versions of the videos that were released for that. The first one was the like shorter version, and it was just, I feel like it was just like a drawing, not even like real footage, like an animation or a drawing or whatever, but it was just kind of like wind moving like fabrics and stuff. And then they had that scene in the music video for SOS, the same scene that was like in the animated version. They did that scene of like Kong Daniel kneeling in the not dirt, sand. Kong Daniel kneeling in the sand, and there's like the people with like the plague masks and stuff surrounding him, and it's really like creepy and ominous and like wastelandy vibes. They did that for the extended version of the Wasteland music video. Like, so once again, nothing's happening. He's just kneeling there and like the wind is blowing and stuff. But I thought it really fit the vibe of the song. I thought it was nice, even though it was just like a moving picture.
Yeah, the Kong Daniel video and actually all of the ones that I said, they're all really impactful. Like they work with the song really well. It's not just we're throwing something together to make a music video for it. It's like, okay, we know what we want to do for this.
Yeah, it's kind of, they're like music videos that were a little mini movie.
Yeah. Well, next, let's talk about favorite styling.
Okay. So if we overlook the sort of mullet piece, the like extra hair pieces in the back for Kong Daniel SOS, I really like the styling for that. I liked it a lot. Besides that, there's not really anything else that stood out to me as being like anything notable. Like things had good styling, but I didn't really feel like there was anything else that I was like, ooh, the styling in that. So just Kong Daniel I liked.
Okay. Well, like the music video for T Sugar Rush Ride, I really enjoyed the styling for that. Lots of glitter, lots of like honey type textures and like sparkle. everything sparkle, and I liked it. It was something fresh, and I appreciated that. I've Kitsch is maybe a little bit random, but I really liked the styling. I thought it worked for the music video and on the live stages. It made the song have its own kitsch vibe. And NCT Dream, Broken Melodies, a fairly new one, but I've really been enjoying the styling for their stages and the music video because I'm a fan of the, like, you know, flowy pieces and like brighter looks. So they did that with Broken Melodies, which was also different for NCT Dream. So that probably is a reason that I liked it more, because I'm like, oh wow, they're giving styling like this. I never expected that.
When you mentioned I've, it reminded me of Le Seraphim, and I think in the stage, maybe it was for most of their stages, but I didn't watch the stages of this because I didn't particularly care about the song. Sorry. But the stage on their comeback show for the I'm a Mess song, I can't remember the title of that song, okay? But that song, the styling, at least for the comeback stage, I liked the styling for that a lot. With the ball cap and like the black, but the like sort of, I think there was some like maybe sequin sparkle elements or something, but like it's also like it's edgy. So it's edgy, but it's like got some glam.
Okay.
So next, why don't you tell us about some of your top live stages?
Okay. I Am. If you listen to the BlushCat track by track where I talk about IVE's first album, I mentioned briefly how I Am is a song that is great when performed live. Or, sorry, DJ Cordy Roy discusses that topic. But I am saying that it is, you know,
I am
saying that it is really good live. I enjoyed those performances that they did on music shows. AB6 Loser, also a really good one. I think it has that energy and build up that made it really enjoyable when I watched those performances. And finally, Monsta X Beautiful Liar.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed those performances. The Monbebes are always really loud, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, Beautiful Liar stages, I guess, would be quite good. I didn't really think I had any of note that stood out to me a lot, but I did like the Beautiful Liar stages.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Key Killer because that was good too.
Oh, I thought you were saying I thought Key Killer was like a person or something. Like I didn't realize it was Key that sings killer. Like,
yeah,
I was hearing it more as a one piece, not two pieces.
Let's move on to something different, you know? Just some refreshing songs that maybe we weren't really like used to from that group or artist, and just maybe things that were different in general for K-pop, or things that we haven't seen, concepts concepts we haven't seen in a long time. So it was refreshing. Those types of songs. What do you have?
Exactly. Okay, so first, people are going to start to think that this is the only thing that I've seen this year and the only thing that I'm going to talk about, but it's not. So I'll just get it out of the way first. Kong Daniel, SOS, and Wasteland. I think both were like his concept overall of the sort of I guess Wasteland is just what you'd call it, right? As a concept, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, I want to kind of say, like, plague or, like, post-apocalyptic or something,
yeah,
but I don't know if that would be.
It's kind of like,
be like that.
Sort of post-apocalyptic.
Maybe, like, bandit, like, desert bandit. I think while he did have another song that was, like, deserty and kind of like that, and, like, you know, Basquiat from Pentagon in the past was kind of like that, I feel like this is... Overall, this sort of comeback that he's done seems to be a little different in overall.
I agree.
And I think that Wasteland is something different in terms of English songs. It's I believe, an all English song. but it's another one of those ones where I heard and I didn't even really focus or realize that much that it was all English. It kind of gives me a little bit of like Imagine Dragons vibes.
Oh, okay.
If I were to try to equate it to like English songs. But I just think it's nice because it seems like was just like a song that was released before the main, before the title track. And it was all English, but it wasn't done in a way that made it seem like, like Butter or Dynamite or Permission to Dance. It wasn't a thing that was like, oh, here's my English song that I am promoting, and I'm going to promote it either entirely not like I promote my other stuff and very like Americanized promotion for it, or like I'm going to pretend that this is a song that is like everything else that I do, and I'm going to be promoting it just like I do my normal stuff. It was like somewhere in between that made it just seem like, oh yeah, okay, sure, I like this song. It was something different in terms of the way that he even was like using the song, I feel like.
Okay.
Oh, and then also I thought Bite Me, something different, by Hyphen. I think the sound of the song is different than anything I've heard maybe in all of K-pop, or at least recently. And also the dancing, the choreography that they did was a different thing than we usually get to see. The partner dancing, I feel like we haven't really seen that. So that was something different. And then lastly, I had Knock by Chaeyeon. Yeah. Okay, I got it right. I thought that one was something different. We talked about it a little already in a previous episode. I thought that one was something different in terms of seeing a girl soloist having a heavily dance-focused song and promotion. And, well, dance in like maybe more of like a hip-hop dance. I don't know what genre that would be necessarily, but some people might have done dancing, but it was more of I don't know what you'd call like Chunga style dance, but like she does a lot of dance, right? But
yeah.
It's a different style of dance, not the style of Knock. And I just feel like Chunga also has vocals like as a main element. I feel like the main element was dance.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was something different. Like Kong Daniel, I feel like oftentimes the main element can be dance, but we've only seen that from a male idol soloist. This seemed like it was different for a female.
Okay, nice takes there. I like that.
Thank you.
I would just like to point out that when you were talking about Butter and like Dynamite and whatnot, those songs are good. You weren't getting down on the songs. You were getting down on like the marketing of them.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now that that's out of the way.
Thank you.
My things, the comebacks that I found different or refreshing this year so far, Just Be Camellia. I don't really know how, like they didn't perform that or really do much promotion with it, but there was a music video and they called it a pre-release single, but they haven't announced an album yet, so I'm still waiting on that and hoping that everything's gonna be going good with Just Be. But I thought it was a different song for them and in general. Nice breath of fresh air. And A Pink D&D was something refreshing for the spring. I enjoyed that. I already talked about CIX Save Me Kill Me, but I'm going to talk about it again, and I will keep talking about it, especially in this episode. It was something different for CIX. They've had like a storyline going, but the actual song and performances, like their dance and styling, was something different for them, and it's one of my personal like preferred tastes. Like their styling was similar to NCT Dream Broken Melodies in some stages, so I really enjoyed that. And the last one, now this may be a shock, okay, but I'm going to be talking about it anyway, and I thought there was no better category for it than this one. Well, I guess B2B. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wind and Wish. Now, I'm not a melody or anything. I don't actively listen to B2B. I didn't even expect to be checking this song out. But I did. I don't remember if I think I saw like a stage performance of it. Or like maybe I heard it in the background of something, or like maybe I saw a TikTok or reel, whatever of it. I don't know how I came about it and decided to give it a listen. But I'm glad to see that B2B is still sticking to what they know and do best.
Okay.
I found that refreshing, and it's a nice song. There's so yeah, B2B, Wind and Wish. I said it.
Okay. Well, before we move on, I forgot I had a last-minute addition to this category because this song is fairly new. I actually just heard it today.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think Yena, Wicked Love. Something different. Now, in general terms, I wouldn't think it would be that different, but I think it's very different from what I have seen from her because I've only seen like Smiley, Smartphone, those songs and that vibe. That's what I thought Yena's vibe was. And those songs I never, I didn't dislike them, but I also never like latched onto them either. I was just like, okay, yeah, it's Smiley, that's a good song. But this one, very different from what I've seen from her, and I really liked it. And I also thought, while it does just kind of I don't feel like it has any particular genre difference or anything to make it that different. But at the same time, I kind of feel like it has early Britney Spears vibes.
Yep.
So I really enjoyed this song, and I definitely thought that it was different, at least from what I was expecting from Yena. So that can actually beautifully transition us right into our next category, which is surprising. Surprising songs and releases that happened in this first half of the year. It's kind of similar to the last category, except the last category we didn't necessarily have to have been surprised by it being different. It just needed to be different. And this category, it doesn't necessarily have to be different. It just needs to have surprised us. Some of those will overlap. For instance, Yena, Wicked Love. I was very surprised by this because, like I said, I had only seen her doing that other concept, which is what her Hate Rodrigo song is like.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that one was surprising, but I did think that Wicked Love was surprising because it was different from what I had seen from her. Another song that I thought was surprising was Dear My Light by Dawn. Yes, because once again, it was very different than what I expected from Dawn. So, and very, surprisingly beautiful, I feel like.
Yeah.
I just re-listened to it to, remind myself what it was, because I remembered being surprised by it. And I was like, this song, why is, the guitar or, whatever melody is going on in the background, this is a beautiful sounding song. What the heck, Dawn? It was surprising. And also, I have two that are surprising, not in that way, but in the way of I was surprised that I liked it. I liked those other two songs as well. But I've already talked about And Hyphen Bite Me. I was surprised how much I like that song. I really like that song. And I mean, besides the occasional, jokingly supporting the Drunk Dazed song, I didn't really listen to N-Hyphen at all. So I was definitely surprised, not only that I liked that song, but that I really like it.
That is surprising
really
to
song.
me that you really like it. Not because it's a bad song or something. It's wow, it's so surprising that you actually like that. But surprising that you like it.
Right. It doesn't even necessarily seem like the concept that I would like.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really good, and I like it, and it was surprising. And then also, this one I definitely don't like as much as the one I was just talking about, but I'm surprised. It's almost more like that I'm surprised I didn't hate it. That would be, I already mentioned it in another episode, Perfume by I don't know
NCT Dojejong.
Dojejong, yeah. So if you know me at all, you know I'm not usually a fan of NCT's music in general. So I thought it was quite surprising when I heard Perfume that I was like, huh, okay, I could listen to that. Like, not necessarily that I want to listen to it, but I totally could. And I thought with those specific people being vocalists in the group, they're vocalists, right?
Yeah.
I thought, okay, if there's any people from NCT that I'm not going to like a song from, it's probably going to be that. But yeah, no, surprisingly, I didn't hate it. So those were my surprising picks.
My surprising releases. Kai Rover. I don't have much to say. Like, at one point, I started to just enjoy Kai's music, I guess. I didn't when he first debuted as a soloist. But I was surprised that this, like, time again, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Rover. Jisoo Flower. I was very surprised myself that I grew to like that song. And Cherry Bullet. POW, Play on the World. I wasn't surprised that I liked a Cherry Bullet song, but I was surprised after Love in Space that they came back with something that I really enjoyed again. And N-Bite Me, like you said, I was very surprised by that after their Pass the Mic comeback, that they had their redemption arc. And so I really enjoy that one as well. Let's go smoothly again over to a category that we can tie in Jisoo Flower to, songs that grew on me. Okay? Jisoo Flower grew on me. Yeon Cherry Coke grew on me. I don't listen to it all the time, but when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, I really didn't expect this vibe from her. I don't like the lyrics and like the title. Like, I didn't like the concept of the whole thing, really. But, like, it's just not my aesthetic, really. But I like it. Boy Next Door, One and Only.
Oh.
You know, I like the Boy Next Door music. It's got that icon winner flair that I talked about. That is something that's just kind of fun. And a big one here, Gravity Groovy. Okay?
Definitely.
Big on the gravity, big on the groovy.
Yeah, okay. Gravity Groovy, 100%. I remember first hearing Gravity Groovy and being like, because I was a fan of Gravity Adrenaline.
Yeah.
And that was sort of like the Gravity song that I knew and that I had listened to.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Gravity Groovy came out and I was like, oh, okay, sure, Gravity, like, thanks, but no thanks. But no, Gravity Groovy is a bop.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity Adrenaline is a bop. And Gravity Party Rock, which
mm-hmm.
also grew on me.
Yeah.
But those ones weren't released in this part of the year, so they don't matter. But definitely groovy. And then the other one, I really should have known, because much like every other one of this group's songs, title tracks, I didn't really care about it at first. I was just like, okay, sure. Like, I don't hate it, but it's is there something to write home about either? I am. When I first talked about this song, I thought, yeah, okay, sure. It's a good song, but I don't really know if it's my favorite IVE song, or even if I even like it as much as I like the other ones. And I thought that with After Like as well, and I probably thought that with like all of IVE's songs. When I first hear them, I just think, okay. And then the more I hear them, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this song. So I still don't think that I Am is my favorite IVE title track, but it definitely grew on me. Like, I definitely acknowledge it more as like a song that I would like at this point than just like a song that is whatever.
Okay.
Now let me take a moment to talk about some of my songs that were my favorite from a group. I just said I Am, I don't think is my favorite from IVE. But there were some releases that happened in the first half of this year that I think are my favorite from the group or person. One of those I've already talked about, Bite Me and Hyphen. definitely my favorite and hyphen song that I've heard so far. And then the other one is Best Friend Ever by NCT Dream. That is definitely my favorite NCT Dream song. Love that song. Great song. And there were some songs that were listenable before for NCT Dream, like that I considered listenable, but none that I was like, ooh, I want to add it to my playlist or anything. But this one, definitely add it to the playlist and put it on repeat.
Okay. How about your top Boys Planet songs?
Well, my top Boys Planet songs, a lot of the songs happened on Boys Planet I kept saying I didn't like the concept of, but they delivered perfectly with one song in particular, On Guard. Loved the concept, loved the sound, like that. I just really, I think that would be a really good song. Like, I feel like, can it not just be that one instance of that song on that one day on Boys Planet? Can we not have that as like something more official? Because I really like that one.
Yeah, On Guard deserves better.
Yeah. And then also, I really like Jelly Pop. It's a little bit weird, like it's a little bit like, really? We're going to like this song? I don't know why, but it seems a little weird, a little quirky. I don't know. But I do like it. It's catchy and it's fun. It's great for summer.
I agree. On Guard, Jelly Pop. I have to give a shout out to Say My Name because I really like that one. So, yeah, those are our top Boys Planet songs. Well, we're getting to more of the, these would be some of the categories that they would start announcing at the end of the award show because they're the big ones, okay? Let's go to favorite albums.
Why don't you go ahead?
Okay. My favorite albums. Now, this is so hard to narrow down, but is top album, really good. 17's 10th mini album is really good. Really enjoy that. And AB6, The Future Is Ours, Lost is a really good album. So those are my probably top, just like I've listened to those the most probably. Even though there were a lot of other really good ones that could probably go to honorable mentions, but if I don't mention them during the honorable mentions, just, they're in my heart.
I don't really have an answer for this one because I'm a little bit more like, it takes a special effort for me to go and listen to albums. Like, I end up just getting the title tracks and the songs that are promoted for the most part, unless it's one of the groups that I particularly like, then I will go and check out all of the songs for the album. But none of those groups really released anything in this time, I guess. Maybe Monsta X had an album. And I probably listened to the songs, but it was so long ago that I don't remember. You know what? Actually, I would say DKZ's remastered album. Does that count?
Yeah,
because I'll say that one.
That's a good one.
They've got all the songs, guys. They've remastered them. It's fun. It's a good time. And guess what? That means you can take the songs you already had on your Spotify and you can put the remastered version on your Spotify as well, and then you're going to be able to get that song showing up twice as often. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, who wouldn't want that? Well, this might be tough for you to answer, but do you have any favorite B-sides?
I do, but only because I was like, this song is technically a B-side, right? So I'll put it here. So it's less like I thought of all of the B-sides that I know of and like narrowed it down to my favorite, and more so that there's a song I'd like to mention and it happens to be a B-side.
Okay.
And that would be 9 to 6 Nod or Good Dog. Good, okay. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked that one. And I really liked how well it fit with their title track.
I agree. That is one of my favorite B-sides as well. Everybody, go check out 9 to 6, the DKZ subunit with Jonghyun and Mingyu right now. If you've already checked it out, just go stream, okay? Keep checking it out. So 9 to 6 Nod, great B-side. Their other B-side, Digital Love, or like the other track that they released, Digital Love, is good too. And we're going to talk about their title track later.
And honestly, I feel like as a whole, that comeback from the DKZ subunit could have been somehow included in the surprising category, except that I'm such a big fan of DKZ that, like, I already had, like, it's like it was surprising, but at the same time, it's like, but it's not because it's DKZ.
I agree. I had that in surprising, but I'm like, but it's not, though. Yeah. Like, it's DKZ. Like, I knew it was going to be good, and it's like, yeah, I totally get that. I also really enjoy The Boys Horizon. I think that's very relaxing to listen to, and I just really love it. Idol Paradise is a good one. And two From Us 9 songs, Attitude and In the Mirror, are ones that I've really been enjoying. And I was really glad to see them perform Attitude on music shows. It is now later because I'm here to talk about favorite dances, and one of my favorite dances so far this year was 9 to 6 Don't Call Me. I really just, the dance practice for that, there's 2 of them. Thank you. It's really good. Also, NCT Dream Broken Melodies and NCT Dream Best Friend Ever have really great fun choreography. Broken Melodies is very different for NCT Dream, like I said, and Best Friend Ever is just really fun. I've Kitsch. I really enjoy the choreography for that song. And The Boys Roar. That definitely had some, like, catchy moves and some really Road to Kingdom style, like, elements that it was like, wow, this is a high caliber.
It's interesting because most of those ones that you just mentioned, I don't even really know what the choreography is for them. So I don't know how I missed that, but I'll have to go and check them out.
Yeah.
But, of course, one that you did mention, Don't Call Me, I also think it's so interesting because I kind of feel like that song in general and the choreography are kind of weird. Like, kind of, it's like I can't find the beat or the rhythm. Like, but I love it.
Okay.
I don't like when they're walking and they're like putting their arms and stuff. I'm kind of like, this is kind of weird. Like, it doesn't have a flow to it, but at the same time it does. Like, it totally works perfectly and makes it so great, but I don't really know why. Like, it's like I don't understand it, but I like it.
Okay, I feel like that's very interesting. I think we need to take a moment because we never made a full episode talking about 9 to 6 and their debut, and we should do that right now just for a moment to acknowledge how good that was, how good it is.
Iconic. It needs more recognition. I wanted it to become the anthem for all office workers in Korea and across the world, but is that happening? I don't feel like it is.
I don't feel like it is. It had really good, like, achievements, I'm pretty sure, when Don't Call Me first came out, so that's really great. And I'm glad to see that they did nod as well, and they ran with a second song to promote. I really want it to get the recognition that it deserves, so we're doing that now. Mingyu, absolutely not expecting his rap debut, but wow, very good. Jonghyun popping off like always in such an iconic way. Like, how can DKZ always be just doing things that are so iconic?
I am nodding my head at everything you are saying right now. Like, I remember, I think we might have talked on another episode about how they were going to debut, and I thought it sounds like it maybe will be like vocal focused because of the 2 people. And then they just blew my mind with what they came back with. And yeah, seriously, when Mingyu starts his rap part at the beginning, I was like, are you kidding me? He has no business having a part this iconic. Like, where is this coming from? But at the same time, he does have business doing that because it's DKZ.
Yeah.
But really, like, Don't Call Me is really great. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Me too. Anyway, what other dances did you enjoy?
Well, really the only other one that I really thought was Bite Me. And it's like I said before, I think that the partner dancing aspect to the choreography that they that choice that they made was perfect for this song. I don't think that this song would have been nearly as good, actually, if they didn't have that element to it. I think the sounds of the music just sound so perfectly fitting to the dance that they do. So it's not even necessarily that I think the dance is so great. It's more so that I think the dance being paired with the song was genius.
Oh, wow. Okay. Not expecting that. I think, like, just because I think that the dance is good, but, like, the song itself is good, too.
Well, no, I think the song is good. I'm saying I don't think the dance would be as good if it weren't that type of dance. Like, I don't think the song needs the dance.
Okay.
But I think that it's, like, they didn't just put a dance with that song.
I see what you're saying.
I'm like, that...
Like you're glad they went with that style dance for that song.
If there were a perfect dance to go with that song, that would be it. Like, they found it. Because sometimes you'll hear a song and you're like, ooh, it would have been really cool if they had done this, if I had seen this sort of element.
Yeah.
And they don't do that. But this is like, I think it's perfect for the song. But I think the song also, like, you don't need to even, you can just listen to the song and it's still good. You don't need a visual element. Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to be talking about our top overall title tracks from this half of the year. So hopefully maybe we've talked about each of these songs already for a different category, but also just overall, and it doesn't mean that we thought that they were like the best in terms of technicalities, in the technical aspect. We're saying it's our favorite, like our most enjoyed. We're like, wow, ooh, that song.
Yeah.
So what were your top title tracks?
CIX, Save Me, Kill Me. Love that one. Very good. Very, very good. AB6, Loser. I Am. Monsta X, Beautiful Liar. And like we've been saying, 9 to 6, Don't Call Me, the DKZ subunit. All just good songs on their own, good songs live, good songs to watch the performances of. Really enjoy those title tracks. You might be thinking, whoa, why didn't she talk about some of the ones that she's been saying, like, in other categories that have been coming up over and over again? Well, you know, I tried to really narrow it down. It's what I'm feeling at the moment. And some of the other ones aren't exactly title tracks. So I do have a top overall that I'll mention those in after.
Okay, my favorite top title tracks would be, you're probably not surprised, and Bite Me, 9 to 6, Don't Call Me, and I know I haven't talked about it a lot this episode yet, but Monsta X, Beautiful Liar. All of those songs, anytime that they would be presented to me, I'm not going to pass up the chance to get to listen to it. You know, I'm not going to pass by the video and not watch that live stage. Like, I'm like, okay, yes, another Beautiful Liar, another Don't Call Me, another Bite Me. Sure, you've got it. I'll listen to it because those are my top.
Yeah, let me just say, please, because I didn't really talk about it much. Beautiful Liar, everybody's parts are really good. Hyungwon's part, absolutely iconic. The rap part's really good. Just everybody's parts are really good. Really enjoyed it. Now I'm going to be saying my top overall, so not necessarily just the title tracks, maybe the albums, the comeback in general, just the overall vibes, what I've been enjoying this year. NCT Dream, both of their releases, Best Friend Ever and Broken Melodies. Broken Melodies is not like going to be the title for their album, it's a pre-release, and Best Friend Ever is Japanese, so like I didn't really consider them titles like technically, so like I am putting that in the overall category because they're really great. 9 to 6, Good to You, the whole comeback was iconic, like we've been saying. IVE's IVE album and all their promo for that. Key Killer, one that I didn't get to talk about too much, but you know, it's Key, okay? It's going to be good. And it was. It's like the whole album, the design, the lives, the dance, the storyline that has been being carried through, you know, it's Key. So it's good.
That one made me uncomfortable because of the spider crawling up the arm dance move.
Oh, okay. And finally, I will be saying CIX, Save Me, Kill Me once again. I'm just, you know, I could talk about that for a while. It's really good.
I believe you that those are your favorite things. It's very evident that you like those things a lot. So
okay. Good.
And I think mine probably were not surprising to any people either. A Monsta X, a DKZ, songs that I've talked about like on every single category. But I do have one other thing to mention. It's not a title track, as you said, but Best Friend Ever, definitely absolutely a top song for me for this year. Another one that, you know, I'm not ever going to pass up the chance to be able to listen to it again because I love that song.
Nice. So that's it for the main bulk. But we do have some honorable mentions. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Let me transition from the Best Friend Ever Japanese release to my honorable mentions of the like subcategory Japanese releases. There were a lot this year that were like, you know, not just the Japanese versions of the K-pop song. Pentagon, we have to acknowledge it's Pentagon. It was good. IVE Wave, really enjoyed that one. People are going to be like, oh, well, of course it's IVE. Clearly she likes IVE. Yes, I thought that one was really good. NCT Dream, Best Friend Ever, we keep acknowledging, as we should. And AB6 Fly Away, that I really liked too.
I suppose if we're going to be in that subcategory of Japanese songs, then yes, my honorable mention would be Shh by Pentagon. Definitely a catchy song, a bop, but I didn't necessarily feel like it was fitting into any of the other categories for me, but I did still want to mention it. I like that one.
Yeah. Now, I would also just like to give some shout outs to ones that maybe I didn't talk about very much or at all, but they deserve, well, their honorable mention. So, Idol Queen card. I enjoyed that one. I had it on repeat. You know, it's fun. And N-Bite Me has come up a lot. That deserves its moment. Kepler, Back to the City. Now that was a B-side, and their B-sides have been, for me, better than their titles recently. Like ever since What Da Da really was like Up is good, but I've still liked the B-sides better from Kepler, and so Back to the City I thought was really the better choice, probably, honestly, for what the title should have been.
Whoa, hot take.
Yeah, there's some tea for you there. Cherry Bullet, Play on the World, mentioned a little bit earlier, but I think that the music video actually has some really cool elements, and it's a little bit of a different style for them to go with too, so I want to acknowledge that. And Cheon Nok and her whole album, really, I want to give its rightful mention.
Okay, yeah, those are some good ones, because some of those I have, already put somewhere else. So, like, I agree that they deserve to be mentioned. And my only other one would be aespa Spicy. It's not one that I've listened to very often, but every time that I do end up hearing it again, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, Spicy. Like, yeah, sure. It's basically in a similar sense of having Bite Me after Pass the Mic, Paradox Invasion, whatever, from N-Hyphen. Having Spicy after Girls from aespa, I think is just really like I'd like to mention, even though this isn't my favorite aespa song, Spicy, I think it's so much better than I thought Girls was.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, yeah, you know what? Good for you. Like, they didn't continue to have songs that I didn't really like. Like, it's the next song was like, oh, okay, this is more what I would expect from aespa normally. So, yeah.
I agree. That concludes our 2023 mid-year K-pop review. You got to hear our favorites so far for this year. Let us know by leaving a comment what your favorite releases of the year so far were/are. We, like we said at the beginning, didn't go into this super seriously. It's just, it could be seeming like we're talking only about a very small, like, number of things, or maybe it's like, oh, you sure did, like, have a lot of favorites, or maybe it's like there were so many releases and you're only talking about the same 5 things. I don't know how it's gonna seem, but that's just our favorites. Like, those are just our favorites right now, okay?
We have seen, I mean, at least I personally have seen, a substantial amount more than the ones that I've talked about.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like those ones needed to be mentioned. So this was my list of things that throughout this first half of the year I thought were worth, reminding myself of and giving a little mention and talking about again. And yeah, they're like, I'm not pigeonholed into these couple of groups. I've seen, I feel like I've seen most of the music videos, that have come out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just, I didn't want to talk about those ones. And it doesn't even mean that they were terrible, just that I maybe was like, I could overlook that one,
Yeah.
So,
like, believe it or not, this is a narrowed list.
Yeah. And yeah, this isn't just like everything that we saw we liked and we're gonna re-mention. It's what we said it was, a casual collection of notable and favorite songs and albums of this year so far.
Yes. If you enjoyed this episode, you can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notifications, and also like the video. Also, check out the Meower Monthly for June, which you can find on Twitter, Instagram, might even put it on YouTube, not sure. But you can check out some of our favorites that specifically happened in June and other news things that are K-pop related that happened during the month.
It's super cute and fun. Go check it out.
Thank you. Also, follow BlushCat on Spotify and follow BlushCat on Spotify like the profile, you can use our short link in the description and follow the summer mix playlist that is now available. It is specially curated, handcrafted, organized from start to end, added to regularly whenever I deem a new summer song appropriate. And, whether you listen to it on shuffle or not, if you don't, each song should, to my preference anyway, flow wonderfully from one to the next. There are currently over 400 songs on it. You've got, I think, 23 hours plus of music for summer, day and night vibes. Please go listen to that and enjoy it. Thank you.
There are more songs on that playlist than there are on my biggest playlist that I have on Spotify. So yeah, if you're looking for music fitting for summer, then you've got it. Basically, if you can think of a song from K-pop that you think would go with summer, I would hope it's probably on that playlist. You're like, well, do you have Itzy Surf? Yeah, we do. Well, do you have Pentagon Summer? Yeah, we do.
If there is not one, maybe it slipped my mind, and like I said, will add it in at some point. So just be sure to go follow BlushCat on Spotify. That is it for this episode. Thank you for listening. This has been Loremire
and me. Bye.
Meow 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 meow.